Hey everyone, welcome to the One Time Close Land and Home Construction Loans podcast. I'm Mike, and if you've ever looked at your backyard and seen nothing but wasted potential, this episode is definitely for you. Today, we're doing a deep, no-fluff dive into what I truly believe is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools for homeowners, the Fannie Mae Homestyle Renovation Loan. And you know, this isn't just about painting a room. We're talking about financing an entirely new income-producing asset, a backyard apartment from the ground up, all with just one single loan and one closing. And to make this real, I'm joined by David. David and his family just completed this exact journey. They navigated the entire process from a patch of grass to a leased-out cash-flowing ADU using the Homestyle loan. David, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Really excited to share our experience with your audience.
David, let's start at the very beginning. Paint a picture for everyone of what your property looked like before you had this idea. What was that space, and what was the final catalyst that made you pick up the phone and make that first call?
Sure. So we have a corner lot, which is great, but it came with this long, narrow side yard. It was totally unusable space. Honestly, it was a hassle. We had to mow it, edge it, water it. It was a cost center, not an asset. The catalyst was a combination of things. We're also pragmatic people. We saw rental prices in our area going through the roof and thought writing a check to pay someone to mow the lawn in that unused area, when we could be depositing one, we knew we needed to build something, but the thought of draining our savings or taking out a high-interest loan was a non-starter. That's when we started researching and found Homestyle.
That's the classic aha moment. So you found us. It sounded almost too good to be true. Walk me through that first conversation with our team. What specific question did you lead with when you called 888-857-8041?
I remember it clearly. I said, "All right, level with me. This sounds great, but what's the catch? Where do I have to bring a stack of cash to the table that you're not talking about?" I was fully expecting the catch to be a massive contingency fee or double closing costs. But your team was great. He said, "David, the catch is that it's a more involved process. It's not a quick online application. But the catch you're worried about, surprise cash calls, is exactly what this loan is designed to prevent." Your team spent a good 20 minutes just explaining the built-in contingency reserve and how the draw process protects me, the borrower. That first call sold me.
I love that. Transparency is everything. Now let's get into the meat of it. We've been getting a ton of great questions from our subscribers about this exact topic. So David, let's put you on the spot and address some of them directly. This next segment is all about questions from subscribers of the channel.
Okay, first question comes from @DIY_dad 1985. He asks, "I've got a credit score right around 680. Is that even worth applying with, or will I just get denied for a Homestyle loan and waste my time?" That's a great question, and honestly, I had the same fear. I think a lot of people hear conventional loan and just assume they need an 800 score. The reality is, 680 is a solid score and is often right in the wheelhouse for these loans. It's not just about the number. They look at your whole financial picture, your income, your debts, your overall stability, and most importantly, the value the project will add to the property. A 680 with a steady job and a solid plan is way stronger than a 720 with a bunch of debt and a shaky project. My advice to @DIY_dad 1985 is don't assume you'll be denied. The only way to know for sure is to call 888-857-8041 and get a professional pre-qualification. That's not a waste of time, that's due diligence. And hey, if it turns out your score is lower, then the FHA 203K loan can do the same thing with lower scores, so don't be discouraged at getting a pre-qualification.
Perfect advice, David. Don't disqualify yourself before you even start. Next up, David, this next one comes from @EquityBuilderJax. He asks, "My wife and I are trying to stop renting. Our dream is to buy a fixer-upper with a big yard and build an ADU for her mom to live in. Can we really use one Homestyle loan to buy the house, renovate the main home, and build a brand new backyard apartment all at once? It sounds like we're trying to do too much."
Man, I love this question because that's exactly the kind of ambitious, smart thinking this loan is meant for. And the answer is a definitive yes. That's not too much. That's the entire point. The Homestyle loan isn't just for people who already own a home. It's a purchase loan too. You can wrap the purchase price of the property, the cost of renovating the main house, like a new roof, kitchen, whatever it needs, and the full budget to construct the ADU all into one single mortgage. One loan, one closing, one fixed payment. You're not just buying a house, you're buying a plan and financing the entire vision from day one. It's the ultimate strategic move to build equity immediately.
Nailed it, David. It's the power of the one-time close. You lock your rate based on the future, completed value of the entire property. So instead of buying a move-in ready house at top dollar, you're buying potential at a discount and financing the transformation. It's how savvy investors and homeowners get ahead. Great question at Equity Builder Jax. Next up, at Texas Homegirl asks, how do you find a contractor who even knows what a Homestyle loan is? I'm worried I'll call one and they'll hear draw inspections and hang up on me.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. I had it too. The absolute best thing we did was use the pre-vetted list of approved contractors that we provide, and if you have one you want to use, we'll put them through the approval process. This was a game changer. These aren't just random names. These are contractors who have been through the Homestyle process multiple times. They know how the draw inspections work, they know the paperwork, and they aren't scared off by it. In fact, many of them prefer it because they know they'll get paid promptly and on schedule after each phase is signed off by a third-party inspector. It took all the guesswork and stress out of the most important part of the whole project, choosing the builder.
All right, at Property Investor Pro wants to know, what's the single biggest advantage of a Homestyle loan over just using a HELOC or a cash-out refi for this project?
For me, it was the combination of two things locked in together. First, getting a brand new low fixed interest rate on the entire project amount, and second, the built-in contingency reserve. Let's break that down. A HELOC almost always has a variable rate that's higher than a first mortgage rate, and it's exposed to rate hikes. A cash-out refi would have given me a lump sum of cash, but then I'm personally on the hook for managing that entire budget. If the contractor finds dry rot or a foundation issue, that's coming out of my pocket. With Homestyle, the rate is locked before you even start, insulating you from the market, and the budget for surprises is a pre-approved part of the loan. It's just a safer, more predictable, and ultimately more powerful financial tool for a large-scale project like this.
Next, at Future Landlord Jen asks, can you give us a realistic timeline? How long did the entire process take from your first phone call to having a tenant-ready unit?
Of course. I'm a details guy, so I track this. From the first exploratory call to your team to finally getting the keys from our contractor was right about 5 months. Now, a big chunk of that, almost 8 weeks, was just waiting for the city to approve the permits. That's just a reality of construction anywhere these days. The actual loan process itself, from formal application to closing, was surprisingly efficient, about 45 days. The physical construction, once we finally broke ground, was relatively fast, about 12 weeks from digging the foundation to the final punch list. The key was that our loan officer gave us a clear, phase-by-phase timeline right at the beginning, so we knew what to expect and weren't left wondering what was happening. It requires patience, but it's a predictable process. Okay, last subscriber question from @Granite State Builder. Can you use a home-style loan on a condo or a townhouse, or is it strictly for single-family homes? That's a tricky one, and honestly, I'm glad I didn't have to deal with it myself. From what I understand after talking to Mike's team, Homestyle is primarily for 1 to 4 unit single-family homes. Condos and townhouses with HOAs can be a real challenge, you know? There are often covenants and restrictions that just outright forbid adding new structures. And well, dealing with an HOA board can add a whole other layer of complexity and time. This is definitely one of those your mileage may vary situations. And honestly, it's a perfect question to run by the experts at 888-857-8041. They can pull the guidelines for your specific property and give you a definitive yes or no.
Absolutely right, David. Thanks for tackling those. Folks, if that sparked more questions for David or for me, just drop them in the comments below. David, looking back on the whole experience, what's the one piece of advice you'd give to your past self, the guy who was just starting to research this online?
I'd tell myself to make that first phone call sooner. I spent probably 3 weeks just reading forums and getting analysis paralysis. The information online is overwhelming and honestly often contradictory. The moment I got a real live expert on the phone who could answer my specific questions about my specific property, all the noise faded away and a clear path appeared. So my advice is, stop researching and start talking to a professional. It costs you nothing to get the facts.
That is the perfect place to end. Listeners, you heard it from someone who's been through it. The path to building generational wealth isn't a secret. It's a process, and it starts with a single, decisive phone call. If you're ready to stop mowing your money and start building it, our team is standing by. Call us at 888-857-8041. Let's get your blueprint started today. If this deep dive was helpful, do us a huge favor. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe to the One-Time Close Land and Home Construction Loans podcast for more actionable strategies. Your questions drive our content. Put yours in the comments below. Don't wait, your future tenant is waiting. Call 888-857-8041 now. Did you find this video helpful? Like, share, and subscribe for more expert insights on home building, real estate, and financing. Comment below with your questions or experiences with renovation or construction loans. Call us at 888-857-8041 or reach out at the links in the description below.